Okay, Andy, so we're back at it here. Now, when it comes to the era with JF and Warski Live, do you feel like you provided a microphone to the alt-right or the dissident right? Do you feel like you gave them a big platform at that time? That they wouldn't have got the exposure otherwise?
I do. I do think it made a dent into them. The alt-right, the Wignat, like that was for sure one of the first sparks, I would say. If you look at the connections, we talked about this earlier, the connections with the alt-right, my name was the biggest. And it's not to say that I was an alt-righter, especially at that time. It was to say that I just connected a lot of them. Like the show did, and this is back before YouTube was crazy with their censorship. So you were able to get super chats that went like, 1488, fucking, the 14 words and shit, So YouTube allowed this. So it was like the place where everyone congregated in that, on the far right. It made an impact for sure.
Now, do you have any regrets, though, about how deep into the politics you got at that time? Like, did you fully understand at that time what it would mean to be associated with the alt-right, to be a dissident right figure?
No, I thought it was interesting. And for me, I couldn't comprehend at that time. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. But at the time, you go, oh, well, like, why would people be, like upset about this?
Mm-hmm.
You could say racist jokes. You could make fun of gay people at this time.
Yeah.
All you want. So the alt-right thing and, like, the JQ and, the Jewish, all that stuff, that, and white ethno-states talk. Mm-hmm. To me, it was like, oh, we're having an edgy political discussion, a hypothetical, what if? Mm-hmm. That's what it was to me. I didn't think, because at that time too, it wasn't like you weren't canceled for that. Mm-hmm. Like that created the cancellations, like the era of cancellations. They had to shut it down, and they did.
Yeah, you kind of thought it was more of a comedic thing. So when did you start to realize that this was real? Like the people were serious about this, and other people, not only the alt-right was serious about their ideas, but other people were really serious in the way they would react to that. Like, when did you realize what you had kind of signed up for? Because you didn't know at first, right?
No. In fact, my main principle in this wasn't to, specifically, to put a mic on the alt-right. It was mainly a thing for free speech. Like, free speech, it was sort of like an example. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, you can't use the words free speech and not allow the alt-right to talk. So it was almost like I'm going to do all these alt-right shows with JF and shit, and we're going to talk with these people specifically because you guys keep using the word free speech. If you think about it too, after that era, the word free speech, no one really uses that anymore. Now it's like, censorship and this and that. But no one uses the word free speech because they want to... specifically target.
What the left will say, Andy, about this is they'll say, well, the alt-right shouldn't be platformed. They shouldn't be given a voice because if they're given a voice, they'll take everybody else's voice away. What do you think of that? Do you think the risk is justified in allowing them a platform, or do you think they shouldn't be given a platform?
Well, we're at the phase now in our media and our society where they've won. They've taken over. So it's like, you could say I'm a hypocrite for saying we have to deplatform them, but it would only be for damage control. We've lost the plot. And people get mad at me sometimes in my chat. Or they'll be like, oh, this is too black-pilled. And I'm like, look, I don't mean to be the guy, like the fucking doomer, it's fucked. But it's fucked.
Yeah.
So I don't want them to be deplatformed in the same vein as me wanting free speech. But at the same time, it's like, to me, this battle doesn't even matter. So yeah, I would want to fuck them. Yeah. But it's done. There's no point in even trying.
Well, do you feel, and this is, and we'll move on, but Do you feel like you missed any opportunities because of this? That if you hadn't gone down the path with JF and with Warski Live and platforming Richard Spencer, do you think that your life would be significantly different?
It would be different on like 100%. That's not even like a question. It would be more of a question if I regret it.
Do you?
You know, sometimes, you know, you look at the possibilities, but the grass is always greener.
Yeah.
I could have been even way worse off. I could have been in a fucking ditch.
Yeah.
I could have been, what if I was like super liberal and I never went down that path and got hooked on coke and never hooked up with Ralph and then with Failure and Alex and did all that stuff which helped me get off coke. What if I was on the left and I just like OD'd or something?
Yeah.
What if I... So it's like, have I missed possible opportunities? Of course. But everyone misses opportunities,
yes.
but new opportunities arise, and I'm very happy where I am now.
Does it feel like there's a sense of permanence to it almost, though, that there's like this black mark against you?
Yes.
And even though you were never...
That is the one...
You were never a Nazi. If you could, you would almost take all of it back. But you're not allowed. You are stuck because they will not ever let it go. You will always be considered lesser because you said the F slur or the N slur or whatever it was.
Which, okay,
and look, is that fair?
You know what? I'll say this. If in hindsight, would have I at that point in the fork in the road decided to go with BreadTube rather than what I'm doing right now, which is like a fun show, Twisted Mind Rules. It's funny, it's uncensored, it's not really political. It's more just like a funny show, right? But we are edgy, and we say some stuff.
You gotta say some wild stuff.
So here's the thing is, at that point, in hindsight, maybe I would have picked a different path. However, the silver lining
you can't go back.
But the silver lining of where I'm stuck right now, I have the freedom to say whatever I want. I'm not a rich man. But, dude, like, going to do my streams every day, we do like 4 or 5 hours a day, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Friday, we do the second show. We do a podcast for Patreon on Wednesday. And on Sunday, we do like the higher tier patrons, like 6-hour hangout. If I was in BreadTube, it wouldn't be as funny or near as based as fucking it is right now. Yeah. And I'm not a rich man, but I'm so happy, you know. And Kyler fucking is a great co-host. So, would I be rich? Here's a great question. Would I be richer? Yo, I'd be fucking rolling, dude.
Yeah.
I'd be rolling. But the life lessons learned through the downfalls of what that whole situation was, plus the drug addiction, plus the spurging out, plus all the controversial scandals or whatever, it was like, you know, those were like slaps in the face. Aim was the final, like, imagine someone's like passed out on the floor and you're like, and they're causing problems. Mm-hmm. And you like that final slap in the face and they snap out of it. Mm-hmm. Aim was like, I don't even regret aim.
It shocked you out of it because it was rock bottom, right?
Yes, it was rock bottom. It was like the most embarrassing thing. And we did a funny skit the next day when Alex was arrested. We'll talk about that aim.
We'll get into it. We'll finish up.
We'll get in there, but it's connected. It's all connected. It all
connects because it's your life, right?
Yeah.
I just wanted to ask about this. People would kill me if I didn't ask about this. Did you believe the allegations against JF about his proclivity for mentally disabled women when he was your partner? Did you think that it could be true that he was into mentally disabled women? Or did you just kind of dismiss it out of hand, you know?
You know, during this time, my life was busy. It was partying.
Yeah.
I was in a relationship that was pretty rocky. So the time spent on that through many, certain things, obviously you can imagine what. Through the Kumite and all these things, right? So what was the question?
It was, did you believe the allegations against JF?
I was so busy that my brain was so overloaded with just all these things I had to do. Mm-hmm. When people would bring these allegations to me, I would look at them and I would, I don't even care. Like, they
would send you court documents, right? Like, I know in a lot of it, like, there was at least 5 times people tweeted to you directly and you interacted with them. Yes. They said, here's the court documents. It shows he was with this person. And you later exposed him with the twisted mind of JF. But
the way he explained it to me, like, he had such a great persuasion in his, the way he explained it to me. The way he was like, this is, like, she's not actually what you, like, this is saying she is.
Yeah.
And he was so honest about it, and he felt, like, genuine about it. I believed him. So I never looked deep into it. It's like one of those things where if I were to, like, do a few hours of research, which some people did later during that documentary I made about JF.
Yeah.
Which we actually watched the other night. So it was almost like, I was denying the possibility. I was. It was a shitty thing
to throw you a life raft on this one, though. I mean, to get you to read anything is probably a bit of a, because you're not a guy that's really into reading. I'm going to just guess. So to get you to read court documents of all things, boring, dry, when you're in the midst of snorting coke and partying and crazy stuff, I mean, it is kind of plausible that you wouldn't look into it. A lot of people,
and it was even like,
because for me, I would have read it, and you know what I mean? Because
I don't. And look, even like my mentality at that point too, it was like, okay, if he did some fucked up shit, like, I'm not gonna hold it against him. I don't even care. I'm not gonna look into this. Like, see the severity of it.
Yeah.
Obviously, when I was trying to own him, which I think my 2-part documentary series, which we watched the other night.
Yeah.
It actually does pretty good.
Well, it exposes him for what he is.
It exposes him, but then beyond that, I think once you expose someone for what they've done, it's like, what am I gonna do? Like, shit on him? Like, hold his hate forever? No. Honestly, I hope his show is doing. I hope he's doing what, like, makes him happy. It was sort of like a fucking fuck you, like, here's your expose, It's fun to make those documentaries too.
Oh, I've made a ton of them.
And exactly. And they've been done on me so many times, like all these people. So I get it. I get when people shit on me for certain things.
Yeah. This is one people want to hear. Did you ever meet Mama JF?
No, I never met her.
You didn't interact with her, no stories. Did Jeff ever tell you about her?
No. Zero.
You met JF in real life, though, eh?
Yes, I have.
How is he in real life?
He was okay. He was good.
He was okay?
Yeah, he was, I don't know. He was really tired from driving the whole time.
Yeah.
He was odd, though.
In what way?
I don't know. He seemed... Okay, you know how JF is on his show? I know he is on a video.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes when you go on camera, you extenuate, you sort of like...
Exaggerate aspects of yourself. They make them larger than life, right?
To make them entertaining.
Yeah.
Same guy.
He's the exact same on camera as all.
Andy? Like, I'm going to take a nap right now. You're like, alright.
Andy, I am taking a nap.
He napped.
Oh.
And then he exposed that I had a pipe in my bathroom. And he had drugs in his bath. I'm like, bro, don't tell people that shit. But I did at the time.
Narc JF.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. All right, let's move on from Jean-Francois. Couple questions people brought up about Blair White. What did you think of Blair White? Did you like her or him, whatever it is?
Honestly, the Blair White. The biggest thing I knew that happened with Blair White was the I don't know. What the fuck?
Well,
oh,
okay.
I took out this guy called. Oh, you want to hear this? You probably don't know about omnipolitics. Do you know?
No, I have no idea.
Here's a tale.
Okay.
Exclusive. Fuck, guys. Exclusive. You don't even know what you're about to.
Exclusive. Let's go.
So there was this pedophile called Omnipolitics, and he was straight up like a we can fuck kids guy, right? He was straight into it. He wanted to fuck. Yeah. So I ended up having him on my show to go like, fucking kids is wrong. What a take. You know, hot take, Warski. Don't fuck kids. Like, what a mensch. Blair White ended up being on that show. And this is when I talked about the second babysitter.
Oh, the second babysitter.
All right.
What's going on?
This girl, so she must have been 16. And I must have been like 4 or 5-ish, around there. It was right after this babysitter you beat me, right? Whatever.
Yeah.
It was a transitional period, okay? This 16-year-old girl would like sit on my face and shit like at night.
What?
Yeah, for like a few times, like straight up.
You remember this?
Yes, and I remember liking it, being like, yo, let's fucking go. But I didn't know what was happening.
Right.
So what a fucking like
so
transitional.
this babysitter would have been about 16, you would have been 5.
Yeah.
Was the extent of the abuse just she sat on your face? Or was there penetration?
I don't know, no penetration.
Any other form of sexual
I
stimulation?
can't remember. I do remember other like kissing moments, but those are faded. The sitting on the face was like the ultimate. Like I can remember that room. Like if you are, I could paint you a picture of that room.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are the odds though to get 2 abusive babysitters back to back?
The one we had after her, a saint on earth, angelic. Like this woman actually lived with us for a bit. This older lady passed away, R.I.P. She's dead now, but like she lived with us for like I don't know 5-6 years, maybe more.
Yeah.
And she was like the nanny of the house. And took care of me. No abuse. You know, a little Portuguese fucking, you know, spanking here and there. What are you doing? You're a retard type thing. All fine within like raising a kid. So I was blessed after that. But like, yeah, the second babysitter was very sexual abusive. But I remember liking it. And asking my parents, my mom, like, yo, when's she coming over again? There's a 5-year-old fucking horned up, ready to fucking like bust a load. Like,
that's crazy, man. But like, so there wasn't any sort of lasting trauma or really long-term negative impact from that, do you think? Or do you think that affected you negatively going forward?
No, I don't think it's never been traumatic. It's never been PTSD or anything.
So but how does the second babysitter tie into the Blair White stuff?
Because when we were talking to Omnipolitics.
Yeah.
So he's trying to give reasons why fucking kids is fine. So then that's when I finally exposed that story. That was like the first time I ever said that. And Blair White was there during that moment. And Blair White, she cried. You know, she was like, you know, it was an emotional moment, me exposing this to like destroy this pedophile. So we ruined this guy, right? It's not that hard. But, you know, it was a good 3-hour stream. Me and Blair White, we were pretty tight after that. This guy, here's the follow-up with Omnipolitics. Guys, if you could find Omnipolitics, God bless you. This guy, he was trolling some of my viewers, and he was sending them CP, apparently. The FBI ends up getting involved and catching Omnipolitics. And he went to jail for like 2 or 3 years. Right? So he comes out, and we find out Omnipolitics, this is in 2015, 2016, Omnipolitics is out of jail. He's out of jail, but everyone who's like, he attacked with CP, they're all attacking him and his family through Facebook. Okay? So his family's being littered with this shit. He ends up killing himself.
Whoa.
Yo!
Well, maybe it made the world a better place.
You know? And he was like, I take care of my like 10-year-old niece. And I'm like, what does that mean? He said, "Don't worry about it." And we're losing our mind. Like this lore that
what a thing to say.
The fact that it's missing in internet history is a shame.
But people. Oh man. Anyway.
But Blair White and I were pretty close, and then I guess she got with the whole JF thing, Warski Live thing. All the skeptics threw me under the bus. They were like, if I were to try to explain myself, I had no chance. Yeah. And he's already banished from this. It's a red fucking mark on my name. So I end up, and I think you have a question for this, when me and Asian Andy were streaming.
Yeah, so what was going on? It was like you wore a Trump hat as like a prank, or?
No. So I guess people were mad at me about, they thought that I was trying to fuck with Blair White.
Right. So
Blair White, she posted this video where she's wearing a Trump hat. And then someone threw a fucking drink on her.
Okay.
And then it was like this big deal, like, is there acid in it?
Okay.
It was like a crazy video. And I didn't think it was fake per se. Maybe. But for me, I was like, I have a funny idea. And I had two black friends, right? So we end up making a skit where I wear a Trump hat, and we're doing it like, oh, this is real. We're filming it on the streets, like these vlog styles. Yeah. I have a Trump hat, and when I put it on, it becomes a skit where the two black dudes, like down the park, turn around and pull guns, and then you start firing. And we use cool special effects for the ricochet. And I take it off, and it heads back to vlog, and I'm like, they put it back on, and they start shooting again, but now it's like an HD Tarantino movie.
Yeah.
And then everyone went, and he's taking shots at Blair. It's like a skit based on your fucking idea. Like, calm down, bitch. So I guess that tied with the JF stuff. We see her like streaming, me, Baked Alaska, and Asian Andy.
And you go up to her.
Legendary stream, by the way.
Yeah.
Honestly, guys, Asian Andy, Warski, Baked Alaska, that IRL stream, funny stuff. But she walks and she was acting weird to me, but I had no clue. None the wiser. She hates me.
Wow.
Hates me. She wants me dead.
That being said, did you jerk off to the music video with Blair White in it?
No.
Would you fuck Blair White?
The music video, it was.
There's a music video with Blair White in it that she likes dancing and like whatever.
Let's fucking go. Just kidding. No.
No, you wouldn't fuck Blair White?
No.
Well, when you were talking with Blair White, you were talking about the Trapno state?
Alright.
You were talking about how you were going to establish the Trapno state, so I thought maybe you were into the trap.
The Trapno state, it was a funny era. So, Sargon, he was trying to be like a liberalist.
Right, yeah, we all remember.
You remember that? Okay, so he's trying to become a liberalist, create this new political party. And for me, the Trapno state, we always talk about ethno state, someone brought up the Trapno state, and I thought it's so funny because someone's trying to start a real movement. Mm-hmm. And what an embarrassment that the movement opposed to him is trannies. It's kind of like exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like so over the top. And I think I saw this question. You did a quick scroll on them. But I did see that the liberalist, I tried to
trademark
it. So Chris was trademarking Warski, which is trademarked now. And then he tried trademarking the word liberalist on stream.
No, I remember this. Like, I watched it.
We did that. Warski was trademarked because it's like an old, like original whatever idea. But a liberalist, they couldn't like finalize it because it contained a word that was so general. Like, guess the word liberal.
Because it was a terrible name to begin with.
You can't make conservatives.
Yeah.
You can't make that word up because if you try to trademark it. So some people are like, oh, you scammed. You said you were going to like because people donated that stream
to trademark it, but it was actually impossible.
We tried.
We tried to do it, but it couldn't.
And it was
actually
like,
be done.
you know, we didn't make $1 million off it. Like, calm down. Like, it was like
it was still pretty funny because Sargon was seething pretty badly.
Oh, it did
all
ruin
the
his
liberalists
plans.
were seething. They were seething big time, and they deserved to seethe because they were a slimy group. A slimy group of scumbags were the liberalist skeptics.
I remember you went off on them too, right?
Oh, the first videos I ever made on YouTube, I'd probably made 40 videos about Sargon and about crowd.
Oh, yeah.
And about all that stuff. But nobody ever saw those videos, you know. It was only after I got into it with Ralph and stuff like this, it started to gain traction. But there was a little audience for it, and people liked them. I liked those videos, you know. We mentioned Baked Alaska a few minutes ago.
No.
Did you really do coke with Baked Alaska?
No, I'll tell you what happened. When I was in LA, I did, I asked him to buy me coke. But, like, I was with fucking, you know, Asian Andy, and I was like, if you could find someone, cool. If not, like, no big deal. Right? And then they had a buddy who ended up, like, hooking me up with, like, you know, a bag of coke.
Right.
So, yeah, I had a buddy who...
But were you snorting lines with Tim?
No.
You never saw Tim do any lines
No.
or anything?
No.
Okay.
Never seen Tim do...
What's he like in person?
He was very nice. He was a nice guy.
Yeah?
Like, he was nice. Like, I honestly can't, you know, you can make fun of Tim of Baked Alaska as much as you want. But, like, in person, very, like, you know, generous guy, very hospitable. He did text on his phone while he was driving a lot. Like, he's, like, literally, like, checking his Twitter, like, while driving. I'm like, I think I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Like, not looking at the fucking window for, like, 30 seconds at a time. And I didn't say anything. I remember going, we're going to fucking die. This is how I die. Flying out of fucking Baked Alaska's windshield.
Can you imagine?
No.
Man, things would be so different. There would be no Sammy streams. There would be...
Oh.
you know, but maybe the world would have been a better place. I don't know. Without Yoba. But... You know, we'd have lost Andy, so, you know.
Yeah.
Do you think the stories of Baked having gay sex at AVN are true?
Yeah, I think, you know, like...
You think so,
I mean, I don't think they're true, as I think that there is a possibility that...
Did you ever get a vibe from him that he was, like, a homosexual, or that he might be gay?
No.
Not really. He didn't try and grope you or anything like that.
Like, you can look at clues through streams and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to sit here and try to add something to be flavorful and lie about it.
No, you don't lie about it. Tell the truth, right?
Yeah.
The whole interview
It'd be funnier if he was like, oh, I was like, he's a fucking flamer.
No, it would be
He
funny
tried sucking my
but...
dick at night, you know?
No.
That would have been funny, but no,
well,
he didn't.
What do you think of the stuff Bake's done recently? You know, his legal issues, you know, IP2. Do you think he's a Fed? Do you think he's become an informant?
Look, okay, hang on. I'm going to say this. So he was doing all that shit on D-Live. Now, I'm doing a show called Twisted Mind, and I started on D-Live. And on D-Live, any N-words, F-slurs, you know, what's the fail word? Watch out! Those words were a no-no, and we got in trouble for them a lot. And then he's streaming and he's doing all this fucking straight up Keemstar nigger, and you're like macing people one after another. You know, he was going nuts. Almost killed Aldi. Not him in particular, but like Dope District fucking fighting fucking lesbians on the fucking. I was like, we're gonna like D-Live is gonna get fucked. Now, obviously, I didn't say anything. I just held it in, like, why am I getting reprimanded for... I said, beg him once. Meanwhile, he's macing, like, 18 people. And then he was upset that I criticized it.
Wow.
I didn't try to stop him. I just went, dude, it's kind of nuts. Like, tone it down. Like, don't get banned and shit. I'm trying to give some life advice. Some, like, straight up, Andy. And then all his fans were like, Kyler and Andy want Baked to be killed. Like, we said, you'll be killed if you're like in like a ghetto and you have the N-word blasting off. So now he thinks that Kyler and Andy want him to be killed. And he's going with that narrative, and he starts just dropping off, like...
Well, because he's challenged you to fight a few times.
3!
So people want to know what happened with that. It's just never materialized, right?
Well, he brought up, you want to, like, I accept the challenge with Warski. The first time I went, yes. And then after, he was, like, toying around. He wasn't, like, responding to me at all. But he kept mentioning it. And I'm like, look. And then finally I'm like, okay, I have work to do. I got things to do. I'm doing other things in my life. I'm not going to fight. I'm not going to... No Tonka, no show bullshit. I'm not interested in that. That's fucking gay. And then he re-challenges me to a fight. Like, randomly. Like, 2 weeks later. And then I go, fine, $10,000. Hotel, flights, training time, like all that stuff. $10,000, it's worth it for me. Doesn't accept. And then fucking the January 6th stuff happens a few weeks ago. Third challenge. I'm like, no, like what the fuck? It's like this toying thing, like, we might have a fight. You either want to fight me or you don't, bro. And you could say, oh, Andy's trying to like coax money out of this. You know what? Yes. I'm not paying for hotel. I'm not paying for training. I'm not paying for food. I'm not paying for protein and creatine. Wow. I'm not paying for any of that shit.
We're about to get into why that is, because you've done this before, right? Before we do, though, did you think that Baked and Milo ever had sex, or was there anything weird going on with Baked and Milo? What do you think?
I'd probably say a hand job.
You think probably a hand job, something like that?
Would you be surprised?
I wouldn't be surprised. Does Milo make, like, to your knowledge, does he make his staff fuck him? Like, his team, do they have to, like, service him sexually? Have you heard anything like that?
I have not.
No? Okay.
Believe me, I wish I had the fucking hard drive of fucking,
He has the hard drive.
He's got the hard drive. Fuck.
Yeah. Now, do you think that Milo has turned a new leaf because we've heard he's gone to conversion therapy? He says he's straight. You're not buying what he's selling, Andy?
No, dude.
Oh,
you're gonna be sucking dicks, and I swear his tagline. And look, I don't hate Milo. I've met him before. I've talked to him on Killstream. Milo is just like, you're telling me your tagline for your life was "I suck black dick." Like, that was his fucking, right? And it was to be like owning the libs, like, I'm gay.
We're owning the libs by sucking dick.
By giant black BBC, right? You're sucking that shit?
Yeah.
But you can't do that and then one day you're like, now I'm converting you into a straight man? Come on, Milo.
Andy.
And did you see him, oh, by the way, did you see him throw an engagement ring that was like $100K or some shit? And there's a video, we watched it on Killstream, and he threw it into the ocean. I'm like, this is the fake, he did not throw. There's zero.
Desperate for cash.
Zero chance.
Desperate.
$100K in the ocean, and it was never mentioned again. Surprise, surprise, because it's not $100K. And there was a cut in the video. It needs to be one take.
That's so embarrassing.
From appraisal, it's got to be from appraisal, one take in the, you know what I mean? Like, you're filming
Andy,
it.
Would you ever call Milo, do you think it would be straight to call him Master Milo?
No, that's kind of fucking nuts. What the hell?
Okay. You would never call him Master Milo.
Master Milo, but why would you do that?
It's just you have a friend who calls him Master Milo, that's all. Anyway, getting into Knoxville, was it kayfabe? People want to know how much of this shit was actually real, how much of it was fucking fake.
It was 100% as presented. If you watch the Dame Quesos...
But what was presented was like was fucked, Andy. Like, let's cut to the chase. Did you actually think that Tonka would ever show up?
Yeah.
You thought he might show up and you might have to fight him.
Until the blood test.
Up until the blood test. So,
yeah.
Up until like a week out, basically. What was it? Like, how many, was it 3 days or a week
Not
out?
a week out, no. It was longer.
How long out was it for the blood test? Was it a month?
Yeah, it was like a month.
Was it a month? And then from that point you knew he wasn't showing up.
I said that. I said, I'm still going to go there and we'll party and we'll do we'll meet up and stuff. Like,
yeah.
I felt really bad. I really did think, like, okay, he's going to fight. So I was training. Like, I actually was kind of nervous. Like, not that I'm scared of Tonka, but fighting in general. And you're doing it in front of cameras. And it's for like a legacy type thing.
No, I mean...
So I trained out of like fear of like...
The humiliation if Tonka, the crippled Indian, was to beat you.
Oh, dude. It would have been a big fucking like skid on the reputation.
A big stain.
Oh, dude. I got scared. So I trained.
Would that have...
There was always a voice in the back of my head that it was like, don't worry, he's not going to show up. There was that voice there, but the fear of like, if Tonka beats me up, I might just pop. I might just kill myself.
Do you think that it would have actually been better if Tonka had shown up than beat you?
Yes!
Than the timeline that actually took place?
100%.
Wow.
It would have been so much more based. Imagine footage of that.
I know.
Like, what a lost opportunity of the history.
I was so upset about that. You know, I really wanted to see the fight happen. And it didn't materialize. And I think for a lot of people, that was the point where they started tuning out. Because they were like, this is the end of the arc, you know? And then in the weeks that followed, shit got really real. I know you never met Tonka in real life. But you worked with him, like you hosted him on the Kumite. You had a lot of private calls with him, stuff like this. What is Tonka like? Like, what is he like as a person?
When me and him, we were good. He's a pretty nice guy. You know, it's like he's whatever, chill. Very like low energy, low key type thing. But then he always just starts having ideas. Like, you're in a Discord call with him, and it would be funny if you... And it starts these gay ops, like, he starts building it up. It's all kayfabe with him, you know? Tonka, there's not an honest bone in his body.
Yeah.
If you ever see him talking shit about anyone, there's no real passion behind it. It's all this, like, meticulous, like... And it's never good. Yeah. He always did try that stuff, you know? He tried like fucking with us a few times. I can't remember the story. It's too crazy, like. But there was a lot of times where he would try to make me and Failure like have to like seem like aloof about something, and we're like, no one's gonna buy this. I get like doing bits, fine, but it was like, no, everyone's gonna think I'm an idiot. Like, no, that's kind of fucked up. You'll be funny if you didn't realize that. No, that's insane. That's like it's not even like it makes me look like bad. How about we make you look bad? You fucking.
Well, look, Knoxville became, as time went on, less and less about a fight between you and Tonkasaw, and more about all the assorted drama of everybody who fucking came together on this trip. And one person who came on this trip was Gonzalo Lira, award-winning author, filmmaker, and he claimed that you and Ralph had a homosexual relationship, that you were the pitcher, Ralph was the catcher. He says he filmed it all, he has it all on tape. Is it real? Is there a tape?
No, it's not. But here's the thing. I told PPP before this started, I'm like, first of all, that would be fucking insane if he had that, right?
Yeah.
First of all, like, release the tape. Was I drunk? Did this release by accident? No, but there was no fucking gay sex. I did say to Ashton here, I was like, what if I said it did happen? And we'll just like move on from it. But I can't even do that to Ralph. Love Ralph. He's my friend. There's no gay sex. You know, like...
Well, it's because Coach made all this stuff up, right? It was all bullshit. And because of that, you said he fed the mistress give the abortion, right?
We made up the fucking abortion thing.
Yeah.
And we called him Coach Abortion Pill. And it wasn't to be serious. It was sort of like just to fucking goof off, right? Yeah, that's what happened with Coach Red Pill.
Oh,
honestly,
so look,
I do miss Gonzalo Lira.
Oh, Gonzalo is the character. He's
Coach Red Pill,
character.
if you're watching this, Coach, like, I'm sorry, man. Like, you were cool. Like, cheers to you, buddy.
Look,
I hope you're doing well. I hope. He's the fucking like.
He's
Coach Red Pill.
He's Coach Red Pill. He's a villainous, very interesting figure. Now, look, you and Ralph weren't fucking on this trip.
No.
Who was fucking on this trip? Who was getting laid? Who was getting paid? What was going on? Who was getting down and dirty on this trip?
I fucked Pinecone Girl. We did a show on that, like, what, 2 nights ago?
We did a show on it 2 nights ago. People can check it out. People want to know, did Pinecone's pussy stink?
No, it didn't.
It didn't. It was fucking clean.
It was a decent smell. It was good times. It was based. It was fun. The aftermath didn't go well, though.
Yeah. No, we know. We know. Was anybody else on this trip having sex?
No.
Because Coach made a claim that Ralph had cheated on his wife in Knoxville. They're divorced now. Really doesn't matter anymore.
No.
He didn't do it?
No, he didn't.
Coach is full of fucking shit again?
There was no anyone else fucking.
Well, speaking of people not getting to fuck, how did you feel about cucking Shannon in Knoxville?
No, listen. I had left. Shit had moved on. The time had been spent. Whatever happened between Gator and what's her name?
Pinecone Kirsten?
Yeah. What's her name?
What's her name?
What's her name? Like, what are you doing?
No, you don't even know her name anymore.
Listen, chat.
But you weren't you didn't revel in cucking Gator. You didn't
Zero.
revel in that.
No, I love Gator.
You weren't trying
Gator.
to humiliate him or anything
No.
Is it true he got kicked out of the bar because he didn't have an ID?
No, I'll tell you the story.
Yeah, so what, Coach is like off on some other shit, is he?
So we went to a bar, and Gator, the ID he brought was expired.
Okay.
And in most states, you can have an expired ID. It's fine because it just still proves that you're over the age.
Yeah, well, and you look at him and he looks like he's...
Knoxville? No. Knoxville's, like, specific law is it needs to be, like, a valid one. So then, Gator was like, oh, guys. And there's, like, 150 of us, 200 of us. So me and Ralph, we go, all right, we're going to bring all our people somewhere else. And the person looked back and like sees like 200 people and goes, "It's all good," and let us in.
Nice.
Yeah, Gator was good, but
And Gator, by the way, Gator, go fuck yourself, you piece of shit. Fuck Gator in the face, you piece of fucking shit, lying psycho, fucking cunt. In his ear, saying Andy was talking shit. I said I was disappointed in him. I made a couple of cracks, a couple of jokes. Fucking you stupid glorified soundboard.
It was good.
Question. Did Coach Red Pill really save Ethan Ralph's life? He claims that Ethan Ralph was drunk and he was going to come at a cop, and Coach grabbed him and held him back and said, "Ethan, no, you can't, like, you're going to go to jail. What are you doing then?"
That's false.
That didn't happen.
That's false.
Coach is just full of fucking shit. Okay, I'm going to start asking.
He's like, look.
He just is a liar. He's a scam artist.
The thing is, too, is like, I wish I could tell you any of these Coach things were real, just so I could at least have some assurance that when I was...
Surfer, no!
Let's... A white hair on the fucking camera.
Look, let's
what about the Coach
take a break?
No, I'm gonna say.
No, tell the coach anything about coach being real. I don't know.
Oh no, I'm just saying. Like, I wish there was one thing where coach said something, and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. Because every time now you bring up coach's name, I'm like, everything is like, for me, you could believe me or not, you could think I'm a liar. But for me, I'm like, well, that's not true. Like, that's insane. You know? I wish you guys had my, like, memory for, like...
Okay, so I'm gonna bring up some names of people that were at Knoxville. What were they like? How was Ethan Ralph during Knoxville?
He was great.
Had a great time with him.
Ralph was 10 out of 10 on that trip. Yeah, it was really fun.
How was Dick Masterson?
He was cool. Very nice.
Yeah?
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with him. Yeah, definitely.
What about Nick Rekieta?
He was cool. I didn't see him too much. Saw him like twice at the bar, and we ate breakfast one time. But he was decent.
What about Gator?
Awesome guy. Chill.
Yeah.
Very fun.
Got nothing but nice things to say about Knoxville.
I'm trying to think. Were there any? Oh, okay. You want to hear a bad story? I know what you're trying to look for. So fucking Coach Red Pill.
Let's go.
This nigger. Sorry, chat. Sorry, hang on.
It's okay.
All right, edit, right? This guy. So me and Ralph, we spent... I think Coach did pitch in a little bit. No. I got the story. Whoa, I remembered. So Coach Red Pill. So me and Ralph are splitting this Airbnb. Dick is staying there. So is fucking a Gator. So is Coach. And no one has to pay much, or I think people paid a little bit, or buy food or something if you weren't paying. But me and Ralph, we were like the fucking, this is our Airbnb. Come the first night, Coach Redfield's unpacking in the second bedroom. I'm like, what? And me and him almost got hands dirty. Like, I was like, are you far? Like, we were going at it. And then finally, like, fine. Like, what am I going to do? Fucking fight it, a fucking 50-year-old man? Like, okay, fine, Coach, you win.
Yeah.
But then, at the bar the next day, I'm like, you're paying $200 or something. And he goes, fine. And then he PayPal'd me $200. And I go, okay, I won't bitch about the room. So he did feel bad enough to PayPal me some money. But the first night, he was fucking... rambunctious. He was wild. He was gonna throw hands with me.
Whoa.
Coach, I actually wish we didn't throw hands. Seriously.
There's a story that people ask about. Is it true? Did Coach Red Pill dump a beer on a fan's head?
Yes!
Did he really do it?
Bro, he went wilding. He was like so bitter. Yes! Holy shit, you just brought up like a fucking memory. It was a serious situation. That was a serious situation. He fucking straight up, I remember, we were in the back, right? Fucking everyone is just smoking cigarettes, and he's arguing with some guy. And I remember the mug being turned over this fan's head. Coach took him out to lunch.
Why did he do it?
I don't know. I remember all this.
So the story is that the fan came up to Coach and said, I really appreciate you. I'm a huge fan. You've been a really positive older male influence in my life. And Coach hated that he said he was an older male influence, which you'd figure is his entire brand.
Whoa,
but
buddy.
He didn't like that he was being called out as being old, so he dumped the beer on his head. This really happened.
Yes.
Whoa.
I remember there being a drama about that, but I was so far removed from that situation that... But I remember being like, that's fucking hilarious. Like, I was like pumped. It pumped me up, but I was fucking hammered. Like, people all night there they were drinking me under the table. People were buying me drinks. I ended up passing out, and Nick, Mr. Rekieta's wife, was helping me that night.
Yeah.
She was being very, very cool. I survived because of Nick Rekieta's wife.
What? Anyway, what the?
Yeah.
What the?
No, okay.
What the? Anyway, we'll move on here from Knoxville. Actually, let's take a short break.
Yeah, I gotta pee and stuff.
On the next episode of Behind the Stutter, we go through Miami, with Ethan Ralph. We hear Andy's take on his partnership with Geek Thulu, and it's time to aim. All this and more on the next Behind the Stutter!